So there actually was much more news over the weekend involving President Donald Trump, other than him going to the football game and be booed and him sort of ignoring or not quite speaking to the Republicans and Democrats coming together for what may be an end to the shutdown. We'll see if that actually works through. But he did some more pardoning this weekend. So if you begged for a pardon, you probably got it this weekend. Donald Trump granted full federal pardons to several allies tied to efforts to overturn the 2020 election, including Rudy Giuliani, Mark Meadows, Sidney Powell, John Eastman, and others. The proclamation posted online by the Justice Department's pardon attorney, Mr. Ed Martin, said the move was aimed to correct a, quote, grave national injustice and to promote, quote, reconciliation. Those things all quotes from Ed Martin. The White House did not immediately release detailed criteria on the full official list beyond the proclamation that it had been done. So now it's been done. So what do these pardons actually cover and what do they actually not actually cover? These are federal pardons. They do not erase any state criminal exposure or civil liability tied to 2020 related investigations. So anybody who got found guilty on the civil level or for a criminal level on the state level ain't getting saved. So Rudy Giuliani still owes money. Lots of it. Several people on the list have faced or stiff fines or other issues on the state level charges, so they're not getting out of this one. It also states it does not apply to Trump himself. He cannot, or he did not pardon himself yet. The action follows earlier large-scale clemency for the Jan 6 defendants. Basically, everybody who stormed the Capitol on January 6th got a pardon, and many of those found their way back to jail because they're kind of scumbags. But it also comes with the broader debate over presidential pardon powers. It's something that Trump very much brags about, something that he can do only alone, and he does it a lot to people who have, well, various degrees of worry that maybe they should not be getting this pardon from going forward. There's no statute limiting the president pardoning basically any allies, and such moves often draw scrutiny because you can do that going forward. So you can basically talk about it, but can't do much about it in theory. Analysts note that U.S. has not criminally charged Trump at our federal level over 2000, so there's no reason to pardon him for that after his turn to office, because when he got in the office, that case went away. The allies say the pardons in political-driven cases that help the country move on, such as persecuting of Rudy Giuliani, who does enough to basically do it on his own, but argue that the prosecutions over 2020 basically drop any legitimate legal issues based on political advocacy. It should be over. It should be done. That was, like 5 years ago. Meanwhile, opponents say the move is self-serving. It shields insiders from accountability and, of course, undermines rule of law and efforts tied to 2020 and the interference of the election at that time. Early statements from both sides point to fresh fights over the oversights and the ethics of it all. Expect some court motions to state cases to make sure that the federal clemency does not go into full effect, if that's possible, and some questionable inquiries on the decision process of why these people got their pardons. And if you can't figure that out, then I think you're a little slow in the uptake. Updated charging decisions, maybe some civil suits and some bar discipline matters going forward to complete the matters, because these people still get some sort of slap on the wrist, even if the big thing, whatever federally charged they were given or whatever they might have been given in the future, have been basically absolved by Donald Trump. Supporters are going to say comes the correct overreach. Of course, critics are saying pardoning close allies undermines accountability. You know they did wrong, but you get them off anyway because you have the power, you have the juice, which if you got the power and the juice, why not do it? That's an argument for you right there. But this means that clemency, or at least a pardonship for Rudy Giuliani on the federal level, plus folks like Sidney Powell, those folks who helped in the overturning of 2020 or the attempted overturning of 2020 election, gives them a bit of a get-out-of-jail-free card on those levels. State and civil, not so much.